When the name got announced, I first of all I remember this clearly. I just thanked everybody in my mind, like whoever helped me, and boom, 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 and I'm like, okay, that's done. So from there, then I went ahead, and then it was crazy. Then it was like a nice feeling, good feeling. So
Ladies and gentlemen, the Indian National Barista Champion is Mr. Mithilesh.
So I got to know about this on the 7th of July, I guess 7th of July, 7th, 8th. When I was not in town, when I was actually like peacefully taking 2 days off, that's the day I got to know. On the second day, I got to know. When I got to know, a lot of people said that there's no point competing, but my entire point was that I have to compete because it has to start someday. So I decided that I am going to compete, come what may. Also, I got to know on 7th of July that it is from the 2nd of August. So anybody who's competed in the championship, they know that this is a very short time. It's almost like there's no time. So it's a very, 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 very short period of time. Intensity, I wouldn't even start off. So in short, what the competition is all about, that in 15 minutes, you have to serve 4 espressos, 4 milk beverages, and 4 signature beverages. Now, it is not just pulling out espressos or serving coffee or giving coffee or something like that. It needs to have a good synergy. Like, of course, the taste has to be good. Of course, like there's no second doubt on that. That has to be good. But what is better than that? You need to manage your time. You need to make sure you need to tell the information of the coffee. Your knowledge will be tested over there. So there are basically 4 sensory judges who will be tasting the coffee. There's gonna be one more head judge who also will taste all the cups. There are and additionally there are 2 technical judges who will keep looking at your technical ability of managing the bar. How clean have you kept? How repeatable have you kept? How functional have you kept? What has been your flow, attention to detail, cleanliness, your attire, your talk, what you're doing. All in all, let's just say that it's a master chef in coffee. The only challenge, another challenge is that you've just got one ingredient, that is coffee, and you got to explain thoroughly throughout all the 15 minutes exactly what you're doing. So you get 15 minutes of station prep time, where you have to prep everything, like however, and in that zone only, in that period only, you have to set it up. If you forget something in that period, there's no way in your performance time can you get that. So for example, there was one contestant, by the way, who forgot to put enough coffee for his signature beverages. Unfortunately, he had no coffee left, so you can't top it up later on. So it sounds very stupid, but it's not. It is human. It's so much of pressure over there that people are like looking at it. So that's the entire championship format altogether. So there were 58 participants. In the next round, 16 participants were selected. In the further finals, there were 6 people who were selected. That's how the format is. So it's always whatever the amount of contestants, only top 16, and then top 6 will be selected. So the toughness of it. Now imagine 2000. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. 2015 or 2016, World Barista Champion Sasa Sestic. If you look at his run, when he's serving the milk beverage, his hands are shaking. He's served like a million cups already, and he's like a world champion. But at that stage, his hands were shaking like this. Like when he was putting the cup, it was like this. So imagine the intensity. There must be something complex about it. What I genuinely believe is there can be only one perfect run ever in your life. After that, there's going to be always something that will be messed up. So intensity is brutal, man. Like just brutal. Okay, let's forget what can go wrong. Forget that. A lot of things can go wrong. Let's say everything is correct. So in that period, you gotta manage a lot of things actually. You gotta manage the talk, You're going to manage the espresso, your milk, the time, the explanation, and you still have to be very artistic. While it's almost like, okay, let me give you an example. It's almost like when you make a when you're making a pottery, or when you sculpting something. Imagine that you're standing and moving and talking and doing that at the same time. So it's kind of that artistically kind of difficult, because to have the coordination, it's very confusing. And plus your coffees need to taste good. So your 15 minutes is just the performance time of what you have done way before that. How you have roasted, what coffee you've selected, how it was tasting yesterday, how it is tasting today, what is the signature beverage prep like, what is the point of it. So it's very intense, man. It's very, very exhausting. So from the day I got to know about the championship till the first day I started started training, first, second days were like the worst, the worst, the worst, the worst. They were humiliating. They're really humiliating. So anybody can crack up on that and just say, you know what, whatever I'm making in my life, I'll be settled with that. It's okay. I don't want to go through this. And from there to, endlessly going through that mentally, even when you're in the washroom, even when you're bathing, even when you're having a cup of coffee, or uh, maybe going by a cab, sitting behind the cab, or when somebody's talking and you're like just looking at that person blindly, blankly, and you like memorize. Yeah, you actually doing that. Like, so Netik was telling me ki, I don't know where, but he was like, yeah, I saw you were doing all this, all this, all this. I'm like, where was that? He's like, yeah, you were doing it non-stop. So that becomes like a subconscious kind of a thing. So it's interesting, amazing. It gets to you, it gets in your head. But first time participating and first time doing this, it was really exciting. It takes a lot from you. It is not going to be easy. Whoever thinks it is going to be easy, don't perform, don't be there. It is not going to be easy. Accept that fact, and just do it if you want to. So basically, first choice was to decide on the coffee, as to what coffee do I want to represent, and which is the coffee, and more than that, how do I want to roast it. So what coffee you want to do, what profile do you want to see roast, when do you want to roast that coffee so that it peaks at a certain day or whatever, those things. What kind of equipments do you want to use, what presentation you want to do, what information you want to give. And you gotta taste a billion cups. Trust me, you gotta taste like a billion freaking cups. On the day of the semi-final ki pehle, sorry, before the finals, no, before the semi-finals, oh god, I must have had like 30, 40, 50 espressos just to taste how the coffee is tasting and what is good, which one is good, which one is bad. And 40, 50 espressos are not a joke. It's not a joke. Like, in a day, just pulling out boom, pulling out boom, pulling out boom. No, this, not that. This is calibrating the grinder, understanding the machine, taking it out. And also some of the things that you'll never realize is that uh, the ancillary things become the most important things, like your prep station, your glasses, your cups, your spoons, your table, your glassware, everything needs to be clean, spot on. It needs to be clean on the day that you're giving. That means it has to be wiped and kept properly before. Once you're done, it has to be cleaned and wiped and kept again for drying. And then the next day, again, there's championship. Again, you got to set it up. So those ancillary things become like the most crucial parts. Any one element that you miss, you're screwed. Your routine is messed up. Any one element. So the mental preparation you have to do is a lot of times, like a lot of time you got to do that. So first day of championship. All right. Now, first of all, I am super glad that the championship have started in India, and SCAI and Coffee Board are taking it up. And in a short period of 3 weeks, it's been done. So that's amazingly commendable. There's always a scope of improvement, and this is no badgering of what I'm trying to say. But the prep area was pretty difficult this time, which later on we got to know from the committee also, that they have taken it up seriously, and the next time it's going to be like spot on. But again, the real facts, The prep area was really a disaster. It was a very, very difficult situation to be in. Uh, but I think you got to sail through that. I think you got to just sail through that. So there were 57, 58 participants in just 3 weeks, all right. And the prep area was a little smaller, uh, and there was water. It was all a little bit watery and all that. But we had to make sure that we at least keep it clean, because actually also one more thing, genuinely, it is also up to the freaking participants to keep it clean. It is up to them. How do you, because when we left, me and Naitik, we made sure we clean the entire space. We make sure, and whoever came next, they got a very clean area. They got a really very clean. I have the pictures with me, before and after. I literally have that. We'll put it in the video. I'll send it to you. It depends on the participants also. You never know. Tomorrow you'll have a beautiful prep area, but that will also be trashed. So who's to be blamed? Now on the stage. So my first round, I was pretty happy. I was pretty happy. I was excited about it also, and everything went right. Couple of hiccups were there. Rest everything. The first round was okay. I was pretty content with it. I was pretty sure, of course, that I'm gonna go to 16. But then, so I was on stage at around 12 o'clock or 12:30. Had a nice, good support actually. Really, really good support. So that was really amazing to see. And then later on, from somewhere, somebody told that your espressos might be disqualified. Basically, there's a recipe of espresso given in that from one side there should be like particular amount of ml, from the second side, both spouts, there should be a particular amount of ml that be coming down. But in one of the other rule books, it's written that in totality it should be plus minus 30. In totality, both spouts included. So whoever's into coffee, I'm sure you'll understand what I'm talking about. So somebody came and said that your espresso will be disqualified because the espresso recipe in the WBC is little confusing. Little, I won't say too much. Little confusing. There are 2-3 ways of looking at it or reading at it. But the same recipes, I don't believe in recipe, but the same technique is being followed around the world. I know of like 3 champions from one Indonesia, one Middle East, and one Greece, who have used the same technique. So they were not disqualified. So I was pretty sure that I won't be disqualified. But then the grapevine started increasing so much that everybody in the arena was actually talking about that. And when I spoke to my team, they were like also, no, this is not possible. But then what happened was, the entire arena was just like, oh shit, his performance was the best, but he might be disqualified. So you know how like one rat is left in a thing and then it builds up. That is how it was. Well, moving on then, we were kind of pretty sure about that we won't be disqualified, because in rules there are no disqualification can be done only on 2-3 reasons. This was not even there. You may get low score, but DQ is not there. From 12:30 to 8 o'clock, we did not eat anything, and we were sucked by all these things, and we were like wondering, scratching our heads, like, what if this happens, if we don't go through? That's gonna be like a disaster 101, and that's the end of the goal and story and everything. All the hard work is like down the espresso drain. So the announcements were to be done then, and they were picking up random chits from the bag. All right. So first one to qualify XYZ, second one to qualify, third one to qualify, fourth one, and till 10 our name was not there. And I was like, okay, let's see, 6 more, 10 done, 12 done, 14 done, 15 done. And then I was like, look, I haven't been that lucky ever. So I think let's just chuck it. So I have that photo also where I'm just looking and I'm thinking about Australia, where I'm like in Woolworths, just shopping for some grocery or something like that, something. And number 16, and this MC opens a chit and it drops. The chit falls down. And then he says that ये जो भी है, like whoever this candidate is, he's got a lot of fight in his name, Sangharsh in Hindi, but a lot of fight in his name. And I was like, I don't have fight in my name, so gone. But then he said that क्या he said he's got war in his surname, something like that. And I'm like, wait, hold on, I have Vasal War, so that could be a war, that kind of a joke. Turned out to be that's me. So 16 when he, so I could also, so I could name, but there are a lot of people who shared their experience when it was still 15, that they started talking to each other that, boss, kidhar? Is he actually disqualified? Like, are you serious? Shit, this is happening. Because everybody was engulfed in that. And then 16 was my name. So, that was like really unnecessarily. I mean, I could have gone for a spa upstairs, man. Like, there was a nice, beautiful spa upstairs. I could have like chilled out over there. We could have had some food, something to eat, something to drink at least. But we were so engulfed in that, as I said, that we did not even bother to look at it that way. So that was how we went to the next round. The good part was that if you are selected, I mean, if your number comes 16, also this was no chronology, no ranking. If your number comes 16, you'll be the last person to perform on the following day. So technically, I had like 2 days. So not 2 days, but 2 days, 2 mornings to chill out, sort of, because I was to perform on the next day evening. So we had some time to like take a breather, and all this mental harassment, तो नहीं बोलूँगा, but mental trauma that we went through, we were okay with it. Then on to the semi-finals. So a day before the semi-finals, we wanted to taste the coffees a lot. Like, we wanted to see how it is happening. We wanted to work on the final presentation as to how is the coffee reacting. So we had the same set of water also. Machine was not the same. Grinder, water, all equipment the same. Everything same. And tasted like, I don't know, 40-50 espressos that day. Easily. And I was jittery. Like, I was negatively jittery. Like, when I came back home, I remember I was telling Netik that, fuck, why am I feeling so negative? And I did not realize till then. Like, why am I feeling this? Like, shit, what happened? What is that? What is disturbing me? And then I realized, shit, I had so much of coffee, I did not have even one glass of water. So then I had some water, and then everything happened. So that day, then we slept off. Next day morning, we got up. There were 3 setups, 1, 2, 3. The kind of work everybody did, from the volunteers till the judges to the coordination, everything was just crazy, because 16 people, my estimate was one person would take like 45 minutes. So in 45, 1.5. So in 1.5 hours, only 2 people will be done. They did 3 in 1.5 hours, which was crazy bang on. Boom, 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 boom. So we were up on the stage at before the sunset for sure. 4:30ish, 5, something like that. And that was my favorite run, I would say. That was my favorite run. 2 mistakes, but nothing that would be scoring low or disqualifying, of course. Disqualifying. That made me confident that, okay, top 6 I am there for sure, because I've done everything just spot on. Final day came, and got up in the morning, everything was perfect. I think that is what the indication is. When everything is perfect, things are going to get fucked, right? And everything was fine, all packed, no worries, no tension, everything routine is sorted, all things are in place, everything is cool. Bam, 9:30. We had to leave at 10 o'clock. Alright? 9:30, I was showing something like this, just this, you know what, like this. I was brushing my teeth and I did like this. And I had my entire left side of the back got cramp is a small word for it. It froze. Like, it froze. So I was just against the wall standing for like easily 3-4 minutes. Easily. I could not move. I was just barely able to breathe. Like this. And somehow I limped to the bed, slept for a bit. Then Ketan was putting hot bartan on my hot vessel on my back, not helping much, giving me a nice push massage. Nothing was helping. Like, at the back of my head, it was like, boss, even if my arm breaks or leg breaks or whatever, you have to be on the stage, come what may. So that is going to happen for sure. But how do you get rid of this pain, which is like and it is still there today. So today is what, 12th August, and finals was 7th August. So 7th August morning 9:30 I got that pain, and it is still very 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 much there. Yeah, very much there. So that day it was like an excruciatingly pathetic pain. So we got pushed a little bit ahead, back with our times. I had to reach there at 10:30. There was no way I could reach at 10:30. So I reached at like 12:30, I guess, and I was to be on the stage fourth. So that was expected to be around 6 o'clock. But I was hoping genuinely, pata hai. So one of the head judges came in and he's like, Mithlesh, the first and second are not coming, you are going next. I'm like, I'm glad. I'll do it so that it's done. He's like, no, I'm joking. I'm like, come on, yeah. I was so happy that I'll just be on the stage, get it done, and then like sleep out. So I popped in some medicine, painkillers and all. Used some stupid balm, which was like, never use that. Never use that. I'll show you. I'll put it in this thing. Which one not to use. A very good part was Naitik and Lyndon said that let's take the trolley there because it's not raining. So they took the trolley there, and by the time they kept the trolley there, they said like, you're already on the stage. And I'm like, what? I thought like we're gonna get like 45 minutes after that. All those dramas happened, and there was a technical malfunction in the espresso machine which happens. That had to be overcome. And also there was a big light which was like shining bright, and it was all hot and all. And I thought that it's gonna be like 45 minutes later, but the judges were already on the stage after the prep. So that was like that's really intense. So you got your back messed up, you got your technical snag that happened, and you got judges in front of you all of a sudden. So that was all culminated together. I think taking that into perspective, I think the run was beautiful. Taking that into perspective, I was not happy with the run, to be very honest. But if you consider those three things coming together and still delivering and performing at that stage, I think I should give it to myself. Like, I definitely should. Because I remember saying after the performance to Netik that, if we win, I might not be happy, but if we lose, I know it's because of me. So Netik immediately said like, that's not the way to think about it. That's not the right way at all. And I think now I understand why he was saying that, because after the entire run and all, we actually sat down and I was asking the same question like, why was I sweating bullets? What was disturbing me? What was it? Because I was not nervous, I was excited. I had the right coffee. I had the coffee was tasting phenomenal. Everything was just spot on. Why was I sweating bullets? So then we came to that, and also I kind of felt that I was on autopilot mode. First 5-6 minutes, I like, literally it was almost like 5-6 minutes spent, and I'm like, tongue, what the fuck? Where am I? It was like that. Yeah, considering these three major factors in mind, I think according to that, the run was good. But I was not happy. So till the time it was not announced, I was not happy because I thought that I messed up something wrong and I had a really bad feeling. So I was non-stop asking stupid questions to Lyndon, to Netik. Which was better, if semis and finals were to be added together, who would have won? What if I would have done this? Is there all these? And then I was nervous. Oh, now I remember. I'll tell you something. I was more nervous about the results than performance even before the championship started. I was more nervous not about the performance but about the results, because that's not in my hand anymore. So even on the final day when I was in the cab, I was thinking about, jab ho gaya performance sabka ho gaya, now I'm standing waiting for the results, now what? And I'm like, dude, that's not even in your hand. Why are you getting nervous? And then I'm telling myself that because I know I'll crack the performance pretty well, but I'm nervous about the result. So it is all, fuck man, it is all pretty psychological, man. This is very, very psychological, but it was fun. All performances happened, everything happened. And all of a sudden I remember the aura between the semis, because in semis everybody was like, oh, you've done the best, blah blah blah. Somehow in finals, I was thinking that nobody's coming to say anything to me. And it was in my head, जबकि बहुत लोग आके गए, ठीक है? Like everybody just kept, I was only like just not responding towards that. I was like, nahi, I know, it's not, I mean, I don't know sort of a thing. But there were so many people who came. So finally the announcements were there, 6, 7, 38 something. That is when I could hear my doom. Dum dum. That was the time. उसके पहले नहीं हुआ था. उसके पहले I was not nervous, but I think I was right when I was saying that I was nervous about the results more than the performance. Results time came and then they started announcing bronze. So उत्ते में everything happened like in a flash. Huh? I was walking. I was standing over there and I had made a superstitious that this is my lucky place. You know, all these nonsense things happen, man. So I was not moving from there at all. And Netik came and उत्ते में यहाँ से MC said that so now we are announcing bronze, silver, gold and winner. And Netik came to me and like gold and winner. मैंने यार छोड़ना कुछ तो confusion जो whatever. That happened and then I was here. Stage is here. Next to me came Karthik from UAE, the World Ibrik champion. He was standing next to me. He understood how nervous I was. Then Asif came from Blue Tokai. And we were just talking. So Asif was like, many people are rooting for you. All the best, all the best, all that, all that. And then he said, ki, basically there's a platinum winner. So whoever wins the platinum will represent the country. So I was like, okay. So that happened and then he said all the best and he moved on. So it's very hard to believe like there's a platinum. I have never heard that. But I was like, okay, let's hope. So bronze XYZ, silver XYZ and then gold. The gold winner and everybody, trust me, apart from maybe the judges and couple of us, everybody like 1,000 other people thought gold means this guy, the winner. So he announced like gold, the winner of blah 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 is this guy. And from there my coach comes and he's like all upset and he's like, we gotta go, we gotta see what happened at the backstage, what is the tally and score, and we gotta like see, we not even top 4. I knew it, but I was hoping also that I'm right कि बस platinum है सही में, because I told myself, dude, if this is it, you're not there, like come on, fuck. And then that MC finally said, and meanwhile this guy was talking about, I think MC's name was also Arif, I guess so. Karthik told Lyndon that, bro, this platinum, so platinum is the guy who goes to the champion, he's the winner, not gold. Should play that video, should put that video, Lyndon's video. You've seen that, right?
According to your wish. Ladies and gentlemen, the gold winner of National Barista Championship.
Lyndon like, oh fuck, like, and then Lyndon pulled out his camera and he's like, yeah, and I held his camera, I'm like, shut up man, move. And then he announced like and then that video is there, the entire video that Lyndon took. So
Ladies and gentlemen, the Indian National Barista Champion is Mr. Mithilesh Roy.
when the name got announced, I first of all, I remember this clearly. I just thanked everybody in my mind, like whoever helped me, and boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, okay, that's done. So from there, then I went ahead, and then it was crazy. Then it was like a nice feeling, good feeling, sort of a thing.
Introducing the National Barista Champion 2022.
So yeah, I remember I got up in I slept with the trophies. The trophy I kept on one side. Slept with them and then got up in you saw that live video, no? So I got up and I said like, guys, why are you shouting, man? The babies are sleeping inside surround me. So that was a good feeling to see that, because also I won the best signature award also. So signature beverage award. It's not just the Barista Championship, but also the best signature award. That is prestigious, really prestigious. So we can use that over here very soon. So that's gonna happen. There are so many people who have messaged on Instagram, WhatsApp, non-stop calls, non-stop messages. Even now. So my phone crashed in the morning when I got up. Like I opened the WhatsApp and dum, the phone crashed. It was like over what 1,400 messages, I guess. So I took 2 days to reply to each and every person just to, thank and all. So 2 days it took. WBC, now I'm getting kind of excited a little bit, because gradually things are falling in place, one step at a time. little too slow and little less time. I don't know, man. I am really nervous for sure, but excitement is here to practice for that and to deliver that at that level, and make sure that Indian coffee is represented really well. Being a brand ambassador of Indian coffee now, I think it makes a lot of sense to represent that really well, and I'll give everything that I've got for that. That I'm sure about. That I'm pretty sure about. So let's see how that goes.